Hi, friends. Yesterday I talked to you a little bit about the background information of the Iroquois legend of how the owl got his big eyes. Um, the Iroquois are a Native American tribe. It's actually a group of tribes that come from upstate New York, and they originally consisted of Oneida, Mohawk, Seneca, Onondaga, and Cayuga tribes. So it's a big group of tribes that come from upstate New York. So this isn't a legend, a story of how something came to be. And in this case, it's how the owl and the rabbit were made. And I want you to think for a minute, what do you know about owls? What do owls look like? And what do they eat? Where do they live? What kind of day is a day in an owl's life? Just think about that for a minute and think about that while we're reading our story. Okay, well, I'm reading our story. And remember that I went over some of the vocabulary words that we had that are going to come up in this story. The first one I did the diagram example of, and that was plume. Do you remember what plume meant? Can you think about that for a minute? A plume is a showy feather. So peacocks are really known for their plumes because they have such beautiful feathers at the back of their body that they're able to show off. So plume was our first vocabulary word. Our second vocabulary word was forbid. Forbid. I think you guys probably know that word already, but forbid means to command not to do something or make an order to not do something. For instance, I forbid you to steal from that store, or I forbid you to tell a lie. Those are the kinds of things that we would say to someone to forbid them for doing something. That means an order to not do it. One of the other two other vocabulary words, the next one was, do you remember? Fled. Fled. That means to run away, or actually ran away, because that fled is the past tense of flee. So it means he ran away, he fled, ran away from the scene. The last word was crane. Do you remember crane? Now that has a couple of different definitions, but the definition for the word crane in our story is stretching out so that you can see something. Sometimes, have you ever had to crane your neck to see over the top of somebody's head or around someone's shoulder so that you could see the front chalkboard or whiteboard? That's crane, to crane your neck. Okay, so those were our vocabulary words. And let's see if we can hear those words in the story and just sit back, relax, get comfortable, and try and imagine this as a Native American legend of how an animal came to be. Roweno, the spirit who makes everything, was busy creating animals. This afternoon, he was working on Rabbit. May I have nice long legs and long ears like deers? Rabbit asked. And sharp fangs and claws like panthers? Why, certainly, Rowena said. But he had gotten no further than shaping Rabbit's hind legs when he was interrupted by Owl. Whoo, whoo, I want a nice long neck like swans, Owl demanded, and beautiful red feathers like cardinals, and a long beak like egrets, and a royal crown of plumes like herons. I want you to make me the swiftest and the most beautiful of all birds. Be quiet, Roweno said. You know no one is supposed to watch me work. Turn around and close your eyes. Roweno shaped Rabbit's ears long and alert, just like deer's. "Whoo, whoo," Owl said. "Nobody can forbid me to watch. I won't turn around and I certainly won't close my eyes. I like watching, and watch I will." Then Roweno became angry. Forgetting Rabbit's front legs, he grabbed Owl by his branch and shook him with all his might. Owl's eyes grew big and round with fright. Roweno pushed down on Owl's head and pulled up on his ears until they stood up on both sides of his head. "There," Roweno said. "Now you have ears that are big enough to listen when someone tells you what to do, and a short neck that won't let you crane your head to watch things that you shouldn't watch. And your eyes are big, but you can only use them at night, not during the day when I'm working. And finally, as a punishment for your disobedience, your feathers won't be red like cardinals, but ugly and gray like this." And he rubbed Owl all over with mud. Then he turned back to finish Rabbit. But where was he? Poor Rabbit was so frightened by Roweno's anger that he had fled, unfinished. And to this day, Rabbit must hop about on his uneven legs, and he has remained frightened, for he never received the fangs and the claws that he had requested. As for Owl, he remained as Roweno shaped him in his anger, with big eyes and a short neck, big ears, and the ability to see only at night when Roweno isn't working. So that's the end of the Iroquois legend of why the owl has big eyes. So, who do you think Roweno is? Who is Roweno? And what does Rabbit ask Roweno for? For that matter, what does Owl ask Roweno for? And why does Roweno get angry with Owl? What happened to the owl and the rabbit at the end of this story? These are all good discussion questions that I'm going to write down, and I hope that you have a chance to talk to your parent about. That's it for now.